eventually you come home, you go to college, you come back in as an officer, right. And is this when you get more into the sniping side of the house?
Absolutely. I had come back and I had a burning desire to convey what I had learned about recon, because this was learned at the cost of blood, not so much mine as all the guys were running. And nobody was for a very short while down at Bragg, there was a recon course put on, but not very long, not even a year. When the Marines got back, there goes their sniper training. Army completely disbanded it. So about it was 1983. At that point, I was in a position, I was in the Adjutant General's office of the National Guard. And I was appointed the State Marksmanship Coordinator, which is a position involved with making sure all the troops are getting qualified and we have competitions and so on. And I actually had an issue M14 to fire for competition. And we had some President's 100 shooters. Those are the guys, I don't know if you know of them. You can see the tab that they wear, but in national competition, they were the 100 best shots of rifle or pistol in the whole Army-wide. And I talked to some of these guys. I knew a Special Forces guy, post-Vietnam, an Army Ranger. And brainstorming with these guys, got to set up sniper school. That's because I knew I could teach a lot. I was already a gun nut. And by then I was Special Forces weapons qualified as well. And we had these guys that were special ops trained. So we organized committee, marksmanship, and tactics. Initially, the justification was that National Guard units had M1Ds for riot control. They didn't want another, where the hell was it? Ohio State, was it?
Kent State?
Kent State, yes, it's Kent State, Ohio. They were the National Guard opened fire, killed students, but they were locked up in arms rooms around the state, but no one had ever fired them. So managed to persuade the Adjutant General's office that we should at least do new equipment training for this, and we'll make it a 3-day course. So we did. Took the M1Ds guys from all the units. The guys are more than happy to come out. First time was 3 days. The next day was 5 days. Or next time. And eventually, we expanded it to anyone from armed forces or law enforcement. We had law enforcement from all across the country. We made a couple of cycles a year. We had up to 60 men in a class, 60 shooters. And it became a genuine sniper course. We were only shooting out to 600 because in a week or 10 days, you couldn't get much beyond that. But if they were shooting well at 6, they were ready to proceed beyond that and polish it 1,000. We had a lot of challenging tactical exercises, had a final stalk and a final shot. One thing that was interesting, again, if you do this today, I got away with it back then, to instill in them that idea that one shot counts. I issued each one of them one live 7.62 by 54 XO M113.
Probably, yeah. Sounds
118. It was the XM11. It was the M118, which was the 73 grade Army at the time. So I issued each one of them a round. And whenever, in any class, anywhere, one of the cadre called upon them, show me your round. I went through a little rigmarole. You reach into your, thrust your hand into your right pocket, seize your round, and thrust it in the air. And I want to hear you shout, one shot, one kill. And we did that to the course. You could have got relieved or God knows what, because they kept it right to the school. And in the very last final fire, one target was designated, this is your 1 round, 1 kill. And that was built up during the course to see who would choke up. It was not a difficult shot. It was like 300 meters, and there was a, I don't know, top half of a silhouette target, which we put balloons on the targets because it was too easy to hit a full-size silhouette. And that, at some point during their final fire, a caddy would go by him and say, "Show me your round." The student would pull it out, and he'd take that one away because it had been exposed to the elements, and give him a fresh M118. He'd say, "Show me." And they'd lock and load, and they either made it or not. Most guys made it. Some didn't. They just choked up.
Wow.
But they really remembered that for the rest of their lives. They remember that one.
I bet. If you enjoyed that clip, watch the full episode here or another clip here.